This is little Johnny Monwalker. This is Johnny's dad. Johnny's dad died from the black lung. This made Johnny sad. Following in his father's footsteps, Johnny grew up to work for Exxon and the oil industry. Because of Johnny's work, the environment is falling apart. Global warming is plaguing the earth.
There is little doubt that the planet is warming. Over the last century, the average temperature has climbed about 1 degree Fahrenheit around the world. The 1990s was the warmest decade since the mid-1800s. The United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, also known as the IPCC, projects that global temperatures will rise an additional 3 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit by the end of the century. Rising temperatures have a dramatic impact on Arctic ice, which serves as a kind of air conditioner at the top of the world. Since 1978, Arctic sea ice area has shrunk by some 9% per decade and thinned as well. Over the very long term, Greenland's massive ice sheets hold enough meltwater to raise sea level by about 23 feet. ACIA climate models project significant melting of the sheet throughout the 21st century. Sea ice loss is devastating for species that have adapted to this environment, such as polar bears and ringed seals in the Arctic and Antarctic penguins. The IPCC's 2001 report projects that sea level could rise between 4 and 35 inches by century's end. Such rises could have major effects for coastal dwellers. A 1.5-foot sea level rise in flat coastal areas would cause a typical coastline retreat of 150 feet. Worldwide, some 100 million people live within 3 feet of mean sea level. Rises of just 4 inches could promote flooding in many South Sea islands, while in the U.S., Florida and Louisiana are at risk.
Climate models suggest that global warming could cause more frequent extreme weather conditions. Intense hurricanes and storm surges could threaten coastal communities, while heat waves, fires, and drought could also become more common. Human activities such as burning fossil fuels and clearing forests promotes global warming. The gases linger in the atmosphere for years, meaning that even a complete halt in emissions would not immediately stop the warming trend they promote. In 2002, about 40% of U.S. carbon dioxide emissions stem from the burning of fossil fuels for the purpose of electricity generation. Coal accounts for 93% of the emissions from the electric utility industry. Coal emits around 1.7 times as much carbon per unit of energy when burned as does natural gas, and 1.25 times as much as oil. Natural gas gives off 50% of the carbon dioxide, the principal greenhouse gas, released by coal, and 25% less carbon dioxide than oil, for the same amount of energy produced. Coal contains about 80% more carbon per unit of energy than gas does, and oil contains about 40% more. For the typical U.S. household, a metric ton of carbon equals about 10,000 miles of driving at 25 miles per gallon of gasoline, or about 1 year of home heating using a natural gas-fired furnace, or about 4 months of electricity from coal-fired generation. By 2050, rising temperatures exacerbated by human-induced belches of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases could send more than 1 million of Earth's land-dwelling plants and animals down the road to extinction.
Johnny did not learn from the death of his dad. If he had, Johnny could have helped save the earth from global warming. Let's start over. This is little Johnny Monwalker. This is Johnny's dad. Johnny's dad worked in the coal mines. After years of work, Johnny's dad died from the black lung. This made Johnny sad. It made Johnny so sad that he decided to fight against this injustice. Johnny devoted his life to finding alternative energy methods. He developed an effective alternative energy by combining hydrogen fuel and biomass, and this fuel makes the earth safe. Johnny bought a hybrid car and cared so much about the issue that he decided to run for office to make the world focus more on alternative energy. Because Johnny knew the harms of coal and global warming, he was motivated to grow up and change the way the world looks at energy. Johnny did good. Johnny did good.
So I ran faster, but it caught me here. Yes,